And we are live. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I guess it's what they call hump day, ain't it, Lester Lyle?
It is.
Appreciate you come joining me tonight. We had a guest that had to cancel out because of COVID, family stuff, and run into an old catfisherman I had on the show once, and he come to the building, run into him today at the doctor's office, and he got tested. He ain't sure yet if he's got it, but he ain't feeling too good, so Mr. Strawberry, you are in our prayers.
Absolutely. It just this is a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, and me and the wife got talking about it. She got some very smart friends in the medical field, and I think, Lyle, it's come down to it's going to be a norm. It's going to be like the flu, like the colds, pneumonia. It's never going to go away. It's just going. We just got to learn to deal with it.
I think so.
Accept our losses, and that's just the way it is.
Yep.
But anyway, let's start this out by saying God bless America. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for coming into the show. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up, share it out. We're going to have some pretty good information out here tonight. Probably going to be a little more BS than anything, but we're going to have fun doing it. And we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we have talk shows about catfish because that's what makes us happy, Mr. Lyle.
That's exactly right. And man, are the people piling in chat.
Yeah, my chat just called up. Does yours do that every once in a while? It'll stick, and then all of a sudden there'll be 30 show up.
Yeah.
I thought, where did that come from? Let's start out. Mr. Avid, Maurice, Mike Sampson. I ain't seen old Mike Simpson in here in a long time. Have you?
I seen him the other night. It's always a pleasure to have him in any show that we do.
Yeah, because we always had two. We had Mike Sampson and Mike Simpson.
Yep.
And don't see Simpson in here too much. I said, there's Mr. Maurice, Palmetto Cats, Carolina Catfish, Big Slim, Fishing and Freedom. I love that name. Carolina Catfish, LG Bass. That son of a gun got on him a biggin the other day, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I was so proud for him. He done a great job with it.
They sure did. And caught it off the bank. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
You can catch a big fish off the boat, and you might be able to maneuver that boat around to help you out a little bit. But dragging a big fish up on the bank is a total different battle than fighting one on a boat.
It is.
I mean, you don't know if there's rocks, if there's sticks, if there's logs, or whatever's out in that water in front of you. You don't have a clue what you're getting ready to get into.
That's right. I'm too old, too big to fall in the water, so them banks get slick.
Yes.
Most of them get muddy when you fool around with pulling fish in and out of the water, and hell, I'm afraid I'll fall and break a hip.
And down here we got that Carolina red clay, and that stuff is slicker than owl snot, son.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
And once you land in it, you might as well throw them clothes away because that red mud does not come out. It stains permanently.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right about that.
3+1, the squirrel, 812 Cat Queens in the house, Reeling and Raider Outdoors. That's a new name, I think.
Yes, it is.
Catman, dude, hadn't seen you in a while. Appreciate you coming in. The Bullock Experience, Nebraska, Setting Hooks, Crossing Eyes. There's Pawpaw Ed. You're right, they piling it. There's Miss D's in the house. I always love seeing her come in. Dale Hayslip, Hawaiian Fisherman. That's what I'm gonna call him because I can't say that last name. I ain't even gonna try.
Oh man, there's Frank. Twisted Fishing TV and Avid and Robbie. Little Robbie, glad to have him in here.
Yep, his tournament's coming up pretty quick.
Yep, 3+1 and Dale Hayslip and Catman Do Outdoors, Carolina Catfish, Ray Smith, Sharina, Fishing with the Chad. I seen D was in here a minute ago. We always had to have Robbie. Robbie, I watched a video of him the other day, and they caught that big old black gar.
Yeah.
And they handled that really well. The other boy had an idea. He sounded more like me because I don't have much use for gars. But Robbie, he took care of it and made sure that the fish got released back in the water. He done a bang up job. They got good video. He's going to be a star one of these days, and it's coming faster than any of us know it.
Yeah,
There's Alicia.
Yeah, we got to get him on our shows closer to his tournament, Lyle, so we can really
absolutely.
for him.
Hey, there's fishing frustrations from UK. We was talking about that before.
Yes, sir.
We're glad to have him in there, and Catfish Regulators.
And fishing frustrations. If you send me a link, a friend request, or something on Facebook, or your friends over across the pond, please put a notifications that I'm fishing frustrations in UK, so I will recognize you, because we get a lot of spam and a lot of stuff, and we don't know where it comes from. So if you are part of our catfish world, and we do appreciate you, thank you, and back you 100%, please let us know so I don't send you out with the spam.
Yep, I understand that completely. There's Fishing with the Squirrel and Brandon's Outdoor Adventures.
Michael Morello.
Always glad to have Mr. Morello in here. What a great guy he is. I seen him just a minute ago. That's the first time I believe I have seen him, but I could have overlooked him. There's Kevin with Palmetto Cats.
Alicia Barnett.
Yeah, they're still coming in.
Yeah.
That's all.
We got. Lyle, that's one thing I've been noticing every week. I'm having quite a few new faces coming in to chat.
That's awesome.
And I love that.
You betcha.
So before we get started, guys and gals, I'm not promoting the product, but I've got to get the word out there. So I figured we'd do it right now, and I'll do it one more time at the end of the show when we have more people in here. The thing on the bottom of my bobber, that is a complete product. You do not need to add or subtract anything from it to use it on your rod and reel. You just clip this thing right directly onto your line. You do not need to use a sinker slide or any other gadgets with it. It is designed to clip straight to your line. We've had a few people that they clipped them onto sinker slides, Lyle, and they ended up with a twisted up mess.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right about that.
I think what happened was that this went one way, the sinker slide went this way, and once that line got caught in here, it was over.
Yep.
It started helicoptering, and it caused a mess because the other people that went straight onto the onto the line is not having that problem. So that's got to be what it was.
I'm sure.
But if you're having problems like that and you do connect it straight to your line, please contact me. Let us find out what you are doing to what they are doing, and so we can get a consensus on how we can fix that problem.
That's right. Since we're talking about people coming in, I see Two Stands Fishing has joined us, and Tree Limb Fishing. And did I mention D earlier? I want to make sure I mentioned D.
Yeah, Ernie Brown Creole's in the house with us tonight.
I know I didn't get him. Fishing with the Squirrel. I think I got him.
Well, there's Twisted. Did you ride?
Yep.
Did you ride the tornado out today?
Did he have tornadoes? Well, hope he's all right. Everything was good.
He was live, and it was storming pretty freaking good. And I think they had a tornado watch out. And he said the skies wasn't twisting on him right then.
That must have been when we was on the road.
Yeah, must have been.
Sunfish Assassin.
Yeah.
I knew there was somebody I was looking for.
You know, Lyle, we do have a lot of great people that come in here support our shows and do great on their videos and stuff. The young man we had Monday night on Catfish Weekly, I think he's going to show out. I think some of his videos, his funny videos, is really going to take grip and run with it. And
I need to find out from Kevin how I can make sure I enter that in something and the right thing to enter it in, because I think that video's got a shot. I really do. Yeah. I enjoyed it so much. Hey, there's Jade Foxhunter in the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, Daryl done a great job with that video, and he thinks things out, and He thinks ahead on stuff, and there's Papa Ed.
Yeah, Papa Ed, you do need to put the beads on. Anytime you use a barber stop, you need to put the beads on because it don't matter what brand of clips or sinker slides you use, they're going to slide across that knot if you don't have your bead.
There's old Creole saying, I've used your bobbers with the sinker slides and have never had one tangle before. I usually use 1 to 2 ounces of lead on the line.
Right.
Wayne Smith, welcome.
Yeah. And it might be techniques of casting. You know, when I first got back into catfishing law, years ago, we used the Santee rigs many years ago, 20, 25 years ago, because we close to Santee Cooper. So it was nothing new to us. We'd seen it for years. But when I got back into it, I had the worst trouble with that problem of tangling up. And it takes a technique of casting to keep it from umbrelling. I mean, just helicoptering out through there and tangling up when it hits the water. There's a technique to it.
Yep, there is. I see Rebecca has made it in here. Mud Tramp 0715. We're so glad to see you in chat today.
Van Taylor, that's a new one. We got
Mike Irwin
in here. Yep. But yeah, people like him. There's Mr. Greenwell's in the house. People like him that is combining a little bit of information and a lot of entertainment is what we're needing in this catfish world right now. But I think that there's a fine line. I think that we can actually give great information and have some entertainment too. Dieter Melhorn does a great job at that. He's always kind of entertaining. He talks a lot, but he gives out good information.
You think Dieter talks a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd talk and slam off a brass monkey.
I've watched a little video he done today with his son and another, I think one of Grayson's cousins.
Yeah.
And it looked like them guys was having a really fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Tiger Musculum. Welcome.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He used to come in a good bit, too.
There's Junior Warsko.
Yeah, Junior just got released from his COVID lockdown.
Good for him. Hope he's doing all right and feeling well.
Yep.
Then there's one here, James, I got to try.
Okay.
Vanessa Kitty.
Oh, Vanessa Kitty. Yeah, she comes in here.
The
been here for a while.
The print's so small, I struggle to see it.
And for a long time, I thought that was my daughter coming in here because her name's Vanessa.
Oh, I see.
And I asked her, I said, you been coming in my chat? She said, no, it ain't me. I said, okay. I'm just making sure.
Got to check you out.
Yeah, this is Parker Pursuits. But I was talking to Dieter a little while ago. We talk a good bit. Sometimes he's busy.
Yep.
And he was editing and actually picked up the phone. I'm surprised. Usually when he's editing, he's got that phone cut off. But and I was talking to him about, some of the things about YouTube and things like that. And I want to start try to implement a little more entertainment into our live shows. Magnifying lens are for a must for our ages. Yeah, Vanessa. Yeah, it is. I got to get new glasses bad. Thinks they're bad for the sport.
Yeah, I think you got to have. She's right about that.
That is. I don't think they're bad for the sport. I think that I think that the catfish world is starting to take itself a little too serious.
Oh,
there's nothing wrong with being serious about what you do. That's the way we get better. But to me, catfishing law is, I don't know, there's something about it that takes you back to Grandpa and Daddy sitting on the bank with a little bitty fire and just fishing and enjoying the camaraderie more than it is about the fish.
Yep, I agree 100%.
And when I see it getting away from that, because I was part of that bass fishing world, and I seen where it went from just good old boys having fun, getting together, doing a little bitty tournaments and stuff like that, to full blown out that nobody even talks to each other at tournaments.
That's right.
And I've
I
seen
had it both ways.
I've seen it at some of the bigger catfish tournaments coming in, that very few of them, or if they do talk, they end their little bitty cliques here and there.
That's right.
When we're all part of one big family.
Yep, some of them just don't get that, and that's too bad because they're losing out.
They are.
They're losing out. Frank with Twisted Fishing TV says the real entertaining guys are the guys that everyone thinks are bad for the sport. Now think about that for a minute. The real entertaining guys are the guys that everybody thinks is bad for sport.
Makes perfect sense.
It does.
I mean, it does.
Thanks for sharing that, Frank. I mean, Fishing in Freedom, man, that's what a cool name that is.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want everybody to be able, and I imagine, Lyle, there's probably quite a few catfishermen out there that didn't start out with grandpa and daddy taking on fishing. Maybe they did get into catfishing as adults and not have those fond memories of childhood fishing. So I guess I might be taking it for granted that everybody would want that nostalgic part of it, but
get you? No, I got to tell you, my dad passed away when I was pretty small, pretty young, 15, and him and I wasn't as close as my brother and I was. And Dad, when he felt like it, we went fishing or done this or that. And when he didn't, we didn't. And I had a brother that picked up the slack and done all the cool stuff with me that dads are supposed to do with their kids, because my dad didn't feel like it a lot of times, with the kind of heart trouble that he had. So I always had somebody to take me. And some of the stuff that he took me to do, we shouldn't talk about, but he's the one that used to come get me and take me drag racing when I was too little to go. And he took me fishing. He took me deer hunting. He took me squirrel hunting and rabbit hunting and dove hunting and all the stuff that you want to do growing up. And he was always there for me. Right. So I had a great role model besides my dad to pick up the slack when he didn't feel like it. And there's thousands and thousands of uncles and brothers and neighbors down the street and people like that takes kids out every day. But there's always room for more of the people like that to make sure these kids get a chance to learn about the outdoors instead of sitting there doing this all day.
Right. And I didn't get to do a lot with my dad back when I was young, simply because he was the only one working. And Daddy worked, anywhere from 16 to 20-hour days. And so there wasn't a whole lot of time, and then he'd be out of town or whatever. But the times that we did get to go, or I went with my grandpa, these are memories that last a lifetime. And, I hope that each and every one of y'all that's in chat tonight get to experience that if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Nostalgic type of memories that last a lifetime. Not every fish you catch, not every fishing trip that you go on will make a lasting memory in your brain. But the ones that do, you can sit back when you're by yourself, you're working on rods like Lyle or floats like I do, and all of a sudden that memory will come back and you just put a big old smile on your face.
Absolutely. You bet. You bet. So, I see there is some great stories being shared about that stuff in chat right now. And thank you guys for that. And it means a lot to all of us to think about those stories. One, dove hunting was one of my favorite things to do because it led into me being an A-class trap shooter for an extra amateur trap shooting association. And Cindy and I had a motorhome, and before we fished a lot, we'd travel around every weekend, and I'd go to a big shoot somewhere, whether it be in Kansas or Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas, somewhere. Every weekend there was one, and we'd go to them, and I'd shoot. Well, the fishing's more fun because she can be a participant, and not that she couldn't have done it when we were shooting, but it's pretty expensive to do that, especially for me. I was shooting 600 rounds a day, and that cost a bunch of money. I played all the gambling games, all the stuff. So it would be hard for a couple to do that on the stuff that she did. The amount of money that we put into that. But we had places all over the place that we parked our motorhome. We had great fun doing that, just her and I. But the fishing is a lot more fun for her. I know that it is.
Sunfish Assassin said, the best days I cry thinking about the ones who took me fishing on the way and after I catch a lot. I cry again on the way home.
Yeah.
That's it. And Lyle, I guess tonight's show, we just kind of bringing memories back to people's heads tonight. And
I'm okay with that. I see Mark with Catfish and Crappies in there. And Cindy has joined to telling some of the stuff about her and her dad. And it's just a small world when you think about all the things that happen to people. And it's similar to what happened to this guy or this girl or you and me or, Frank and me or Sonny or whoever it is. There's a lot of things that happen to different people around the world. But there's Parker Pursuits. The thing is that we all found each other in the fishing world.
Yeah.
We've all become great friends. It's like we've always said, it's sort of a family. We get together and we all have our times when things don't go exactly like they might often. Yeah. But in the end, you're not going to let anybody cross one of your guys, and I'm not either. It's just the way it is. We're going to be right there if they need us, and the true friends are like that. There's Ryan Bort's Blue Collar Fishing also.
There's Vicky Mathena in the house tonight.
That's awesome.
She got her floats the other day. I sent to her. She won on the show.
Glad to see Vicky.
But it's like Vicky, like Vicky Kitty said, when she was growing up, you fish to eat.
Well, that's true, yeah.
And there was times, and probably a lot of us that, that was the difference in having meat for your meal and not having meat was if the fish were biting.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just we having a fish fry this week. No, we having dinner this week and we better catch some fish.
Yep.
And hunting the same way, dove and squirrel and rabbit and deer. And a lot of families do that, but it becomes part of the staple of the family.
It does.
That you can look back and say, well, I remember when Dad was trying to climb up that tree stand and he built himself and he fell and busted his ass. He didn't get hurt, but it was funny,
Yeah. Yeah. I got a really cool story about that. It has nothing to do with my dad or anybody, but my youngest son, Marky, and I was fishing up around Columbia a few years ago. I was working up there and we went to some public ground, found some great deer, and he had a climbing deer stand. And I didn't want to go very far because he didn't have to in this particular area. It was a flood ground. And I just set me up a stand right over the levee, and I could see a long ways, and we'd seen a lot of deer there. He went across the whole of that flooded area and took a climbing stand. And I'm sitting there in my deer stand, and I'm watching over there, and he's climbing this tree, and then he's all of a sudden he's all bent over, and his butt's poked out, and he's kind of there. And I got a really good pair of binoculars. They're Swarovskis, and I found them on a trail out in Colorado hunting elk out there, but I'm watching him, and he's looking down to the ground. He's looking around, and he's holding on to this deer stand with one hand, and it had a pin that you had to put in. And evidently it had a tether on it. The tether got broke, so he's got it in his hand. He's going up there, and it was a bolt. He dropped it. So there he is, holding it together with one hand, and he finally gets his phone out, and he texts me. He says, "Come help me."
He dropped the bottom part of the stand.
He dropped the bolt where it attaches the arm and goes around behind it to the front of the stand. And there he was, holding it together with his hand.
Oh.
And if he'd have turned loose of it, him and the tree stand, everything would have fell.
Oh,
So
see, and I had a buddy of mine, his tether broke, and he was sitting in the stand, but he couldn't go no higher and he couldn't go down because the climbing part was on the ground.
oh,
Yeah, the climbing part dropped and it went all the way to the ground, and he was stuck, sitting
yeah.
halfway up in a tree, and he couldn't go up, couldn't go down.
Well, if it wasn't for that, Marky would have not made it because he was holding his feet on that part, and the hand held the other piece together.
Right.
So I walk across over and I get it. I said, "What are you doing?" And we're supposed to be deer hunting. He said, "I dropped my boat." He said, "It's right down there." And of course, dead leaves everywhere.
Yeah.
And as luck would have it, I reached right where he pointed and picked the damn thing up. Couldn't see it, just reached in there and grabbed it. And I said, "How am I going to get this to you?" The tree was great big around. He said, "Just toss it up here. I'll catch it." Yeah, right. I threw it up there the first time and he misses it. And the second time he caught it.
Oh.
And he stuck that thing in there. He says, "Wow." He said, "My arm and hands cramped so bad."
Oh, I bet.
It must have been 30 minutes, And
I was on to that thing.
Yeah. I said, "Well, what are you going to?" I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "I'm going to leave it right here." I said, "Well, I'm going to shag butt back and get where I need to be." And I wouldn't laugh. I think about that all day and laugh about it. It was so funny. We didn't kill any deer that day. I laughed so hard.
But that's memories, because you was able to bring that memory up just like that.
Yeah, we get to talking about that, and that's the stuff that comes to mind. And it was funny. He didn't think so at the time, but I laughed hard. Just lucky he didn't fall, get hurt,
Right. Yeah, that's some of the memories. Me and Daddy, first time that me and him together was able to go to Santee. He had to work out of town at a place about 3.5 hours away, and for weeks, they built a new plant down there in Dillon, South Carolina. And he had an old guy he run into, and he run trot lines on Santee. And he told Daddy he'd be glad to take us down there, that he was wanting to go and take his trout lines loose. They had changed the rules on trout lining and stuff, and he was wanting to go. He's going down there to cut all the hooks off of them and quit doing it. He said he'd be glad to take us. And we just headed down there and headed down Highway 95. 95 runs the East Coast. And when you get on there, you just haul tail. You just let it hammer down and go. And that's when they first started cutting those little grooves on the side of the road, to wake you up when you drift over.
Yep.
Well, me and Daddy had been sitting there, and we'd been about an hour and a half on 95 cruising. Wasn't paying attention. Then got to the point wasn't neither one of us talking. We're just sitting there riding. And I guess he didn't doze off. I don't know where I guess he got kind of tunnel vision, just sitting there in that rhythm. And he had eased over just a little bit. And every time he'd hit it, it sounded like somebody was knocking on the door. He looked over at me. He said, "How about opening that damn door and let that idiot in that we've been dragging for about 40 miles?" And I lost it. And it wasn't nobody out there. It was him hitting them little thumpers.
Right. Yeah, that's fun.
We had to pull over. We got to laughing that we couldn't even see to drive. It was tears pouring out of our eyes. We just totally lost it.
But they were great times.
Oh, yeah. We got to Santee. Of course, the fish wasn't biting. We couldn't catch a daggum cold down there. I bought me a daggum nice bait caster. You got one of them nice Daiwa bait casters on the way down there. And I said, "Here, Daddy, you've thrown bait casters before," and not thinking it was them old pin reels that the handle spun on and everything else was just on. He reared back to cast that newfangled bait caster, and needless to say, the pocket knife come out and the line had to be cut off of it the very first cast. But it was good times. We did catch a bunch of big old brim, though. We didn't get no cats, but we did catch a bunch of big brim.
That's all right. I just as soon have them anyhow.
Yeah, but
I see that Abbott has joined us tonight.
Yeah, I think Abbott was the first one in here.
Was he?
But, everybody, just
Ernie Brown?
Make memories. That's right. Whether it's with family, friends, or even a stranger.
I never will forget. It's been a few years now. Doc Lang done a seminar at one of the Catfish conference when it was in the motel. and he goes in there to set up to do it. He starts his seminar, and the first thing he does is he turns around and takes his phone with the camera turned towards the crowd, and he takes a picture, and he turned back around and says, "I'm making memories." Yep. And the crowd just thought that was the funniest thing in the world, but it's true. What he was doing in his mind was making memories that he would never forget.
Yes.
And bless his heart for that. And I found it very intriguing. And his granddaughter is the one that told him about that. So, Star, she's a good kid.
Yeah. So don't forget, everybody, we do have some family out here in the catfish world that still need prayers.
We do.
Vanessa Kitty said her and her husband actually got kicked out of Boca Rat and Rest area on I-95 because the state trooper said that we were laughing too much.
How could that be?
He must have been an old grouch or something.
He
or
must
having a
have
bad
been.
day. I like hearing people laughing, having a good time.
That's right.
Me and a buddy of mine went fishing one day at the old hot hole, behind the steam plant.
Mm-hmm.
And the wheels was rolling. We was doing pretty good fishing. We set up down there. And you just had to know Steve. Steve was one of these people. He would just come off the wall with something just crazy. You never know what was coming out of his mouth. Well, there was these two ducks come swimming down the water. Two little old mallards. One of them swimming, the other one was swimming back and forth. And then once in a while, one would look at the other one like that, and then they'd swim a little bit, and the other one look at it like that. Well, Steve started putting words to these ducks. And I got to laughing, listening to him. And next thing he know, he said, "Well, you old hussy, won't you just kiss my ass?" And when he done that, that duck stuck his head underneath the water and his butt straight up in the air. Lyle, we lost it. We had to walk away from each other. I couldn't even breathe. It felt like my ribs was breaking. And we didn't know it, but there's a game warden up on the hill watching us. And I'm sure he thought we was drunk or high or something, man, because I'm telling you, my ribs is hurting. I had to walk off because he timed it just perfect. And he walked down, but luckily he heard what Steve was saying. And hell, he was laughing just as hard as we were because it was timed just right.
That's funny.
He never checked us for license or nothing. He walked on down, and there was a pile of them down there. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
No license or nothing, making a mess, and he locked every freaking one of them up.
Good for him.
Yeah, but that's same hole, Lyle. In 1992, we got a heck of a snow. I mean, one heck of a snow. We was down there at that hot hole fishing. I only had a 2-wheel drive truck at the time, but it had big tires and snow tires on it. But I heard the awfulest racket. Looked up, and here's about 10 teenagers with a canoe pointed towards the hot hole water off the top of this about 100-foot long bank going downward. It's pretty steep. 1, 2, 3, and they all jumped in that canoe headed down that freaking bank. Well, it never made it to the water before it dumped every one of them out on the way down the daggum hill, and it stopped at that path at the bottom. There's people and coolers and stuff scattered all down through there. And everybody, of course, when the hot hole was running back then, the shad run up in there, the white bass run up in there, the largemouth, everything was running, and you could wire the fish out. But we was all sitting down there rolling on the ground laughing at these idiots scattered out in the snow up and down this freaking bank into daggum salt bars. It tore their tails up. But I guess they thought they was going to jump on it and ride it all the way into the water.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's what
this Vanessa Kitty has made another comment and post about the one she made before and says she thinks that the trooper was jealous because he was short. She's 6'3".
Oh, I hear you.
That could possibly be, yeah.
He had that short man's complex, huh?
Yeah, syndrome.
Yeah, syndrome, whatever. Oh, yeah. I see PD come in the house with us.
Oh, yeah, good to have him back.
Williams.
Hey, there's Irvin.
Yeah, Oh, Herbert must have been having some time that he's able to come in. Appreciate you coming in, Ernie Brown. When the sun's over the hill or the parties. Oh, yeah. I'm like you, Ernie. When the sun's over the hill, the party's over now. Just a
It
fishing
don't even
fest.
have to be over the hill. It's been 96 the last 3 days here, and it doesn't take me very long out in that I'm pretty much done for the day.
Yeah, and I'm getting that way too, Lyle. That's something me and the wife's talking about, getting stuff done around here. It's I never seen the time that I thought the heat would affect me like it does, but it does. The older you get, the weather and stuff affects you, everybody. So if you're still young, you better enjoy it. You better enjoy it.
That's right. Alicia says, Vanessa, I'm 6 foot. Man, there's some tall girls that have their own basketball team here shortly.
No doubt.
Wow.
Next 2 days here. Yep. Yeah, we just had a thunderstorm come through here, and it didn't last long enough to cool it down, so it's a daggum sauna outside.
Yeah, it is. Justin's fishing fetish.
He was in a horseshoe tournament. Don't hear many people talking about throwing horseshoes no more. I love it.
I was never very good at it. I done it when I was a kid, but I really I got a couple kids that are pretty good at it, but I'm not any good at it.
I was never one of the side throwers. In flat shoes, I had a one flipper.
Yeah, I had a several flipper. I just threw the damn thing and prayed that it'd get close to the post.
Throwing it like throwing hand grenades.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
My dad could spin them and do all kinds of stuff with them, but yeah, I didn't do any of that.
No, we at work.
Baseball I was more of a baseball thrower than horseshoes.
Yeah, we throwed every day at work at lunchtime. So
oh yeah, that's funny.
Something to do. Yeah.
There's Chrissy Brown.
Yep. How'd you do, Justin?
Philip Williams.
Oh, and Wampus Cat called me a little while ago. Said that he had some of these parts for his pontoon for sale. Said he got a guy called and said he's wanting to buy his trans, and hey, Justin said, well, I don't know what to ask for. He said, will you take $300? He said, well, yeah, when you going to pick it up? So he's getting closer and closer, Lyle. He's, life's got other stuff for him to do. Him just getting married and trying to combine the two families and stuff like that.
Well, that's got to be a job in itself, but I'll be glad when he gets that boat done because I know he's doing a great job with it. It's going to be an amazing project when he's through.
I'm interested to see how it's going to ride like that.
I'm interested to see how it runs. Hey, there's Clearview Outdoors.
Yep. Robert Andrews. You done said Parker Pursuits. We jumping back in between around 45, back and forth, 42.
Parker Pursuits is the guy that needs to go over and watch Daryl Morris's video. Parker Pursuits would enjoy that because he's a chicken fisherman.
Oh.
And it's extremely funny.
I don't get to watch all these guys' videos, and I hate it, guys. Y'all support me, and I appreciate every bit of it. Now, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I might be out there watching some of y'all's videos, and I'll give you a thumbs up. But most of the time, I just got my glasses off watching on my dadgum tablet, so I don't get to type much. I'll hit you a thumbs up, but I do appreciate everything.
As much as I can to watch as many of them as I can. The only thing that gets in the way with me is there's a lot of new channels that's come on, and I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need to send friend requests and stuff like that so I can be aware of them. But the issue is I bounce back and forth from 5,000 to 490, 98 and stuff like that. So a lot of times people have to wait 2-3 weeks for somebody to drop out so they can be added because 5,000 is all Facebook will let you have on friends. And one day I got 5,000, one day it's 499 and back and forth. So, but you know what? It is what it is. You play by their rules, so you just play by them.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, being the 5,000 being topped out.
Yeah.
Rob's in the house. Appreciate you coming in here, They said Southeast Iowa says hello to everybody. Appreciate you coming in, Rob Waxham. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't, but
Frank says he does the pure joy of it. He does videos for the pure joy of it. Number one gets 1 view or 1 million.
Yeah.
If it
Agreed.
gets one, I got to change over to the other screen. The print on that's just too small.
Too small.
Can't help it. You get on the, we have, for the people that don't know, we have a StreamYard page and a YouTube page, and one of them's ahead of the other with chat, and the other's ahead of the other with video, audio. So it makes it a little difficult, but the YouTube channel page has got bigger prints. It's on I have mine on black, so it has white prints. A lot easier for me to read. And Parker says I haven't been using chicken lately, throwing big fresh cut beta. That's a wise choice.
Yes.
You must have learned that from your brother Ron. Bow Creek.
I'm not against using any bait, Lyle. I'm really not.
No, but it makes for fun conversation with these guys. Some of them get so mad. Holy crap, man! This is. I don't care what they use. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, after the show's over, I got something to talk to you about because I ain't saying it on here.
Okay.
Anyway, it's about a future show I want to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not against using chicken or anything else. Yeah, it does stir the pot a little bit for certain people. But I mean, if I can catch catfish with it, hey, I ain't scared to throw it.
I guarantee you, if I can catch them big old donkey bluegills like your buddy down there, one over catches, if that's what it took to catch them in my waters, I'd be using it every time I went.
Yeah. I agree. That's Real and Raider said he don't even know 5,000 people.
You know what?
Years
ago, I never had a Facebook page, and one day I decided I needed one because I'd had shoulder surgery and I had nothing that I could do but click a mouse. And at that time, my buddy Keith Atkins made a Catfish Weekly Facebook page. And I never in my wildest dream would have ever thought it would have taken off like it has.
See what Carolina Catfish wrote, foghorn, melhorn. That's pretty good.
That is good. That's really good. Oh, man, that's really good.
Used tire plug one day to slay the channel cats.
A tire plug. That is a new one on me.
Now, I've caught my share of channel cats on artificial bait back in my bass days and even crappie fishing.
Yeah.
Because you know yourself, when the crappie hit the bank, if you're throwing little crappie jigs, you're going to get your line stretched probably more than once.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Them old big cats coming up there to feed too, buddy.
Yeah, for years, Cindy and I went crappie fishing over on Stockton Lake down here one time. And for years and years, that's where my biggest channel cat come from. It was a 12-pound channel cat caught on a crappie jig and a minnow, tipped with a minnow. And it wrapped me up around a stump under the water, and I tried to get it out. I fought that thing forever. You go around this way trying to get it undone. That didn't work, so you count your lines and go back around the other way, and that didn't work. So you gain one and go. About 30 minutes later, I finally got him unwound. He took off again. But we got that thing in, and it was a 12-pound channel cat, and at that time, I didn't know that there was a bigger channel cat in the waters around. And then I found out about Lake Mendota. And I know that's a long way for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure Ernie Brown and Chrissy will probably be back next year. But, James, if you get a chance, you need to go up there.
I'd love to. Like I said, I'd have to fly in. It was it's just too far for me to even think about driving.
Well, if you decide you want to, I'll pick you up to the airport. How's that?
That'll work, because it'd like to kill me going to the Catfish Conference. And
I'll bet. Yeah, that's a long drive for you.
Yeah, it's 8 hours, and that was nonstop.
Yeah, it's like 14 for me. It's a long wait from us, too. So
yeah. Well, I say 8 hours. That was 8 hours coming back.
Oh, okay.
9.5 going up because I have to stop, and walk. But when I got in at 30 minutes into it, I had a full tank of gas. I done got none from the waist down.
Open her up and let the
Hammer
big
down,
dog
and I
eat.
didn't let up till I hit Cleveland County, son. I
That's
just
right.
let that daggone Chevy eat.
I hear you. Want to be outdoors has made it into chat. That's Matt,
Yes.
the guy that won the Richards rod rack. Glad to see you made it home and everything went
Yes.
good. And enjoy that rod rack. It's a beautiful piece of equipment.
Avid must be on chat about his weight or something.
Them two, I'm going to have to turn one over each knee, I think.
Well,
I have full knees. They're both pretty good sized boys.
That's what I was getting ready to say. They ain't neither one of them talk too much junk. They ain't been kicking away from the table much themselves.
No, I don't believe so.
But Lyle, I enjoyed this show right here like this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we just need a break from the everyday shows that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
For two people sit down and talk with the people in chat.
Yeah.
Let them put in their 2 cents and their daggum stories and stuff and share with each other. And that's what it's all about. Share up your stories, guys. There's Buckeye catfishing.
Good to see him in here. I haven't seen him in a while.
Is it Buckeye that's been in and out of the hospital lately?
I don't know.
Hey, Keith. See, the names are running together. Is his name Keith Smart?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't keep everybody straight anymore. I try.
And I'm sorry, guys. If that is Keith, I hope you're doing better. He had to go back to the hospital today.
Keith Smart?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Keith Smart or not, but Keith is in the hospital again. We wish him the very best.
No, it ain't Buckeye. So he's the other one. I'm trying to think of his name.
Okay.
Huh?
Buckeye's name's Jim Butts.
Right, that's right.
I didn't think it was Keith, but Keith is having some issues, so you need to keep him in your thoughts. Great guy. Keith for a long time.
Yeah, he's been in our chat for a long time.
James, I told you some time back that we need to do a show just like this once a month or once every other month on Catfish Weekly, just because we can kind of let our hair down. If people want to know something specific about us, they can ask us and we can answer it. We can have a BS session where everybody sits around and post stuff up in chat and we talk about it. If need be, we could bring them in to the show and put them on the panel if we wanted to. There's a lot of things that we could or couldn't do, but these are fun shows to do, and the people in chat that don't know us personally will get to know it. And that's probably, I think it's a good thing to do once in a while.
Oh yeah.
And it goes hand in hand with us coming out there to your tournament and meeting some people that I had never met, old friends like Dieter that I had met, and we get to shake hands with all the guys out there that seems like I'd known for years, but I had, like you, I hadn't got to put my hand on yours yet until we got there. And that in itself was worth that drive.
Yeah, and that's the way me and Junior Proctor, I feel like I've known him forever.
Oh, great guy.
That was the first time me and him was actually got to meet and shake hands. And, it was, and that was when I had that very first YouTube tournament. We was the very first tournament ever to do a live full tournament, even though YouTube fought us and turned off the daggum notification. Yeah. But either way, we had fun. But a lot of people didn't catch fish. It was cold, spit snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Just a miserable cold day.
James,
it was not about fishing.
No.
It was everybody then. Nobody then on YouTube in the catfish world had actually even met each other.
Right.
Until that tournament.
Right.
And that was heartwarming to me, knowing that I was part of a friendship building thing that these guys now have built friendships for life.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I was part of that. And that's I don't know. That's a memory that I will cherish for a lifetime.
Absolutely. And back to Junior Proctor. Junior and I've talked on the phone. We've messaged back and forth. We've had him on our show a few times. My relationship with Junior Proctor will never be complete until him and I sit in a boat together.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't mean just to BS for 15, 20 minutes. I'm talking about a day on the water with him, maybe Cindy, maybe his grandson, or it could be just the two. It ain't going to matter. And catching the fish ain't going to matter. You know, I just want to spend some quality time with him because he is the kind of guy that I feel like that you and I and most everybody wants to be around.
Yep. Yep. You know, I put my buddy Freddie back. Freddie's outdoors. You see him come in here. Put Freddie on the boat with him, and I'm kind of jealous on Freddie. I ain't ever got to fish with Junior and let my buddy fish with him. But
I got to tell you, I got a care package from Freddie, and I will share this with you. I shared it the other night. He sent me this Panfish Nation. It's a acrylic.
I hear you.
That's beautiful. I love that. I'm assuming that this is a shot glass. I really wasn't sure. I asked Mark about it, and that's what he seemed to think it was. They're pretty good sized shots, but I like them. He included this. You can't see it because I got a green scene that says Panfish Nation on it. And then he sent Mark and I both one of these, a set of these, Panfish Nation, and they're etched or wood burned. They appear to me. They're beautiful.
Yeah, he's doing them with a laser. He's got him a laser now, and he sent me when he was first getting it set up. He made me a few,
cool.
And he's getting it set up and learning how to do each thing. So
I'm so proud of that stuff. I'll be putting that up on the wall in here in the shop, and I know Mark liked his, and I love mine. So, you know,
Freddie's good people. You know, he's a 20-year Navy veteran himself.
Oh, I can't thank him enough for what he's done for our country, and then turn around and give us stuff like that after spending 20 years in the military. That just
he's a trip. You'll all see him one day, and he'll all be bald headed. Next day, you'll all see me liable to have a 10-foot green mohawk on. You just never know with Freddie.
I'm okay with that.
He's a trip. With that. He's always entertainment. The gold mining world love a guy like him. He's made friends all across the country, gold mines with them, and now we've got him into the catfish world. He's gonna make friends there.
Yeah,
gals, be true to yourself, but be true to the others that's around you.
You only got one time to be here. You got one time, and you got one chance to pick the right group of people to hang with.
You know, I told Dieter. I talked to him the other day. He called me. I told you. And, you know, Dieter Melhorn probably said something better than anybody else I've ever heard. Enjoy them sunrises. We only have so many.
That's exactly right.
And
that's an old saying, and Dieter uses it a lot, but there's never been more true saying that I'm aware of. It just is. Dieter is more wise than people give him credit for.
Yeah,
I do like to climb on him about that chicken, though.
He don't mind stirring the pot.
Oh no, he don't.
But if you debate him, you better dot your I's and cross your T's. Because Dieter Melhorn's been around the catfish world a long, long time.
You better have your facts straight, dude, because he'll correct you and he'll have something to back it up with.
You daggum right. And that's all right.
Yeah, it is.
You should be
corrected if you're wrong.
Right.
You should.
You know, I don't mind being corrected if I'm wrong. Just make sure you got your I's crossed and your T's crossed. Now, if you cross your I's and dot your T's, then mean you might have a problem. I might be able to stand toe to toe with you. If you do it the other way around, I'm screwed. What kind of hook is that on James's shirt? Them circle hooks. That's my Patriot Bomber shirt. If y'all can see it,
it's straight. You got real clear then.
Yeah.
What kind of camera do you have?
It's what's on my laptop.
It cleared up right quick when you stood up.
It's a Dell Inspiron. It's that 2-in-1. I could actually flip the screen over and do away with the tablet and set and use it like a tablet without using the keyboard. I could touch screen it and all that. So
Chad says Dieter definitely knows his way in and out of a catfish. I think he took a shot at it.
Yeah, I think he did. He just took a shot. I'm surprised. I'm sure Dieter, well, he's editing right now, so he might not be listening. He had his earbuds in when I called him earlier.
He called me the other day. He was editing, and I was shocked that he called me because usually when he's editing, he's full tilt, bore, wide open, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he turns that phone on.
I see SK's in Crappie Catching Adventures is in the chat. I know he uses crappie nibbles when he catches his bluegill and stuff, and I've never. Well, Walmart don't have them. We don't have a tackle shop that stocks that stuff around here. But
oh, really?
SK, I found some.
Oh, I hear you.
And I got a different kind that says crappie magnet slab bites, and I don't know if they're will work or not. But I just want SK to know that I watch him enough to know what he's using, and I try to get some of his stuff too.
I use the chartreuse color with black jigs, and that's the best I've had success with, especially with bluegill.
Yep.
And these kind of tinted waters and these ponds and stuff. Is the black jigs with the daggum chartreuse crappie nibbles.
Yep.
I love them. And we actually got on the white perch one day, me and Wampus Cat. Couldn't get them things to hit worms. Couldn't get them to hit little old minnows. So I tied my sabiki rig back on and tipped them all with them crappie nibbles. And daggum, we started catching the perch. But they wouldn't eat them with the daggum little red worms. Like normally that's what we catch them with, was little bitty tiny red worms.
Yeah.
Or cuts of their own self or minnows. They wasn't hitting hardly nothing, but they started hitting them nibbles. So
cool.
Don't forget to try different things, people.
That's right.
Well, I guess one little hint before we do go is that learn your bait fish.
I agree with that.
Learn your bait fish. If you can learn your bait fish, you can catch the catfish. Because who was that you was talking about? Uses chicken, and now they're using big cut baits. Not saying that chicken don't work, and it's got its places, I'm sure. But when it comes right down to it, the catfish eat other fish.
Yeah, they do.
And, Lyle's got Panfish Weekly on. Great place to go learn about panfish and other good bait fish. There's Wampus Cat coming in.
There's Wampus Cat, exactly.
SK
will be coming on later tonight after your show, too.
Oh, really?
They have a show on YouTube, him and Steve with Limits Tackle and Bluegill and Kim Burnett. Great show. They go over tons and tons of stuff on catching bluegill and crappie.
Is Country Boy still doing a show after mine? Is he on tonight? Does
I
anybody
believe
know?
that he is, and I think SK goes on after that, but I'm not real sure because he just didn't, with his work schedule for a while, he wasn't able to go on very early, and it started out like 9 o'clock my time. I'm not sure what time he starts now, but I catch him every week between taking the dog out and all the stuff I do. But if you guys want to see a great show with some guys that really know how to catch crappie and stuff, that's a good place to look. And if you don't mind me plugging our show tomorrow night on Panfish, Jake will be there from Jigging with Jake Byerliner. Drop in and check him out. We're going to talk about crappie and bluegill and some of that stuff.
There you go, guys and gals. I mean, all these shows, that's what, some of the stuff that I've brought up before is that there's other videos out there that might not have nothing to do with rod and reel catching of catfish that we can learn stuff from.
I'll tell you, if you're planning on doing YouTube videos, YouTube shows of any kind, you need to diversify and watch as many different kinds of videos and programs as you can, because each one of them does something a little better than the last guy. And if you can put all that together, you'll be very successful.
Yeah.
And remember the one thing that I've remembered from the beginning, and Dieter Melhorn told me, be consistent.
Yep.
I've tried to keep that going, to be consistent every week. I believe it's made a difference.
Yep.
Dieter's a wise man.
Yeah, he really is. He's full of BS, but he really
He
is.
is.
He's really smart.
Usually, I'm
Twisted Catfish said catfish know when the different food becomes available. They know when the shad spawn. They know when the skips run, and they know when the frogs migrate.
That's right.
And I agree with that 100% because there's a big old giant lake south of us, and there's a couple guys. One of them was in chat earlier. I don't know if he still is or not. Palmetto fishes it, and that's Santee Cooper. There's certain times of year, Lyle, when you better go down there with a basket full of grasshoppers.
Probably so, yeah.
And if you don't go with grasshoppers, you ain't catching fish because they got so many fields and crop fields down there that there's so much grasshoppers get washed into them waters. That better be what you're fishing with. And I'm talking about for catfish guys and gals.
Yep.
We've caught up to 30 pound. We've caught up to 30 pound.
Big greenies.
Yeah, these are the big ones.
Yeah,
the
big greenies. Yeah.
And
brown. Yeah.
Yeah, green and brown. And we caught up to 30-pound blues with these grasshoppers, and I never would have believed it.
I got to tell you, before we go, I was in a chat last night with a couple of guys, my number 1 son and my number 2 son, and we was talking about jigs. And number 1 son, Mark, he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm tying jigs." He said, "How many did you make tonight?" I said, "I don't know, 30 or 40.
No doubt.
But Betty was in there, and she got to talking about a fire dragon pattern of some kind, and she explained it to me, and I made one. And I got to tell you, that's going to be a hot one this fall.
Well, you know, early spring, when I bass fish, my favorite colors was what they call fire tiger. And it was the bright oranges and the lime greens. Sun.
Hang tight there, big guy.
I want you to tie me some that's solid black with little silver streaks in the tail of it.
Well, I can do that. Let me find my do more here, or do less, whichever the case may be. This is the easiest way to hold them. But when somebody explains something to you, what they look like, or shows you a picture, you got to be able to make it happen. You can't see the chartreuse on account of the green screen, but that's chartreuse, and the rest of it is fire and yellow and got green mixed in with it.
Yeah,
it's. I think that's going to be a hot item. I really.
And very well could be.
But I wish I didn't have that green screen activated, but you know it's too late to worry about now. It's going to be a great jig, and we're going to have some fun with it.
And, you know, just what we was talking about here is different baits for different seasons. You know, early spring, well, no, it wasn't early spring. When does the lightning bugs and the fireflies come out? Mid-spring, late spring, early summer. People don't realize that the grubs of a lightning bug or a firefly, whatever somebody calls them, that the larva actually glows.
Really?
That is the time of the year right before they start coming out to use the little glow-in-the-dark jigs.
Probably so, yeah.
Because when they get washed into the water, you want to talk about wearing out some panfish, Lyle.
I'll bet.
The gun.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that I see them holding their flashlights to glow-in-the-dark stuff all the time. Best thing to do is go to Walmart or wherever and get you one of those disposable cameras that's got the flash in it. That instant flash, that stuff will absorb all the light it can absorb at one second.
Really? That's great information right there.
And it will glow like a freaking light bulb.
I'll be damned. That's way cool. Have you watched Chat?
I'm trying to. But
Chad's trying to put me in an old folks home. What's wrong with him? And it's one thing when he gets on Abbott, but when he gets on me, that's something else altogether.
No. Put him in timeout.
Yeah, well, better not do that. I have actually taken his wrench away so other people could do that, but I always give it back to him. I mean, if them guys think enough of me to call me dad, you know
Yeah.
what? They're pretty good guys, regardless.
He said he freaking stand me and put me in second place. Oh, Lord. It's all about having fun, guys.
I got to tell you a little something. I know that you're running over on your time, and I don't know how close you want to hold to that because it doesn't make any difference to me. But the other night, a couple of us was visiting, and James Dockery stepped in our chat, and what a pleasure it was. He was gripey and complaining, just like he always was. But you could tell that he still don't feel very good. But it was so great to get to visit with him for a few minutes. I don't know how he felt about it, but it made my day just to get to visit with him a little bit because in my fishing world, James Dockery and Katie are a big part of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I really want him to get to feeling better, and it was awesome to get to talk to him a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean that's exactly right. I haven't bothered him. I know he ain't been doing good and stuff, and I'll probably call him in the next couple of days. Either he'll answer or he won't answer. But
if he don't feel good, don't get upset if he don't, because if he don't feel good, he won't. You know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want him to know that he does have our support. I know he's a long way from me, but he's a friend, and you know, I do whatever I need to do to try to help the boy if I could.
Well, we've decided now that if he gets to feeling better, and I get my boat back going, when he gets to feeling better, we're gonna go up there and take him and Cindy and me and James and Katie, and we'll go out to a lake up there that he's familiar with, and we'll go catch some fish. And if we don't catch any fish, we'll still get out and get to be together for a while and enjoy his company.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you. People don't realize they look at James, they don't think he knows a whole lot. That rascal is smart, son.
Man, he catches, most people have no idea how many fish they catch in a year. And if they catch 100 fish in a year, that's a lot. His goal was 5,000. He was halfway there when he got sick.
Yeah.
And it was just halfway.
Yeah.
He fishes more than anybody I know, and he retains all the information from everywhere he goes. So, yeah, he's pretty spot on. If you want to know about catching, especially bass, bluegill, crappie, and stuff like that, he is a great resource for you.
And he don't mind sharing it.
No, he don't.
And sharing it with those kids is his love and passion, and it's kudos to him.
Hey, I got another tidbit that I probably shouldn't share. I'll probably get dropped off of number one status, but I have word that Mark's going to be going after some crappie here really soon, so we should get some videos on that. I'm excited about that, just because I don't consider myself a crappie fisherman, but I love to watch people catch crappie, and if I do catch them, I love to eat them. But I dearly love catching bluegill. So if he gets the following on his lives catching crappie, as he has here recently on his catfishing videos, he's going to do really, really good. So we wish him the best.
Cool. And I'm working on something today. If I can get in this one little old pond I'm trying to get in, Lyle, I'll probably have to jump over on your Panfish Weekly and actually go live.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm waiting on no more to call me and give me some names so I can make some phone calls. But guys and gals, this is one of the best brim bluegill ponds I've ever fished in my life. It's about 5-6 acres. I'm talking about, I've caught bluegill. The biggest we've seen come out is almost 3 pound live.
Oh my gosh.
He's got it on his jaw. It's 2 3/4 pound.
Giant.
Big old black looking with a knot on its head, bluegill, and you turn it, you can see the iridescence colors in the oh man. It's so pretty it's ugly. Or so ugly it's pretty, however you want to say it.
I'm getting dirty messages from the Chad in my messenger.
Oh, must have one less than one child already or something, Chaz.
Mark said the other day he thought he was adopted. That might be true.
I think Mr. James is the gifted one of 3 sons. My 3 sons. Hey, wait a minute. You said I'm older than dirt now.
And we do this multiple times a week, and nobody knows about it, and
Right.
It's extremely entertaining for a few of us to get together one night, and somebody will come up with something, and the next thing you know, everybody's involved with it, and we're yakking. Hey, I just see Jay Fox said there's 52 likes in here. I'm showing 53. But before we go, let's see if we can make that 60. I think that'd be just an ideal thing, because if you haven't enjoyed James and I shooting the bull tonight, I'm not sure what we could do to have any more fun.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, and and we actually, Lyle, earlier we made people think about old memories of dads and grandpas and mamas and daddy, like Junior Warshkow. It wasn't his daddy that took him fishing; it was his mama. And she's dead and gone now, and he's got nothing but those memories.
When I come out there to your tournament, Cindy and I'm pretty sure that I didn't spend enough time visiting with Junior.
Yeah.
I think I could have talked to him a little bit more and enjoyed it, but it was hard to get everybody in.
Yeah.
And I know that he was working really hard to help some people catch some fish and getting bait and all that. The next time we come out there, I'd like to spend an hour just BSing with him, because he's a really cool guy and does a lot for the fishing community. Anybody that spend a week trying to catch bait for everybody that showed up at that tournament is an all right guy in my book.
Oh yeah, Junior, him and his brother both, they upright people. Yeah. I mean, even Jamie, Jamie took a hit for all that bait,
Yeah, he did.
There was big other tournaments, and he didn't have to do that, and I appreciated anything that everybody done. That's why I'm hoping next year, Lyle, to actually make it a weekend deal. Now, whether it'll be a full-blown celebration tournament,
I hope so.
But I want to make it at least where everybody, because next year I want pictures. I want group pictures. I really want this to be great video, and everybody go live if they want to go live. I want it to turn out good. But more importantly, I want everybody to be able to shake hands.
Absolutely.
Instead of being rushed.
And hopefully the COVID will all be over by then, and we won't have to worry about that. And
I got something for COVID.
Yeah.
It's I've watched, and I ain't gonna go over this, but 1 second. I watched some stats today, Lyle, from doctors that now that YouTube does snatched them off. They don't want it to share. They're having spikes all over the world with this COVID.
Right.
And I ain't getting into it a lot because I don't want to stir up trouble. This ain't what that show's about, but I do want to share the information out there. They're getting spikes all over the world. But you know what's happening, Lyle? It's a 2 to 3 day, maybe a week-long spike, and then the numbers drop like a freaking rock. And we're being fed that these spikes are staying longer, and they're not. It's happening in every country the same way. A spike, a lot of people getting exposed, a lot of people getting it, and then it drops. So anyway, y'all take it.
We have to get people elected into office that will tell us the truth, and right now we're not getting that.
Exactly right.
Before we go, James, there's one thing that we need to talk about right quick. It won't take just a second. But Avid's picked up on Sarah's trash can, picking up trash at these boat ramps and different places. We need to work to help him get that off the ground. You guys that are going out fishing, take your trash bag and pick up some stuff. He's giving away prizes. All you got to do is take a picture, weigh your stuff, and send it to him. You could win prizes and stuff. But even if you're not interested in that, just snap a picture of the trash that you picked up and send it to him so he can post it or post it on his page for this. This is a great thing. Sarah had a lot of great success, and Avid's working really hard for this, and we all need to help him out with it.
Right. And want to be outdoors. I've probably seen the videos that you're talking about. If I hadn't, send them to me. I do a lot of deep digging because I don't open my mouth about anything like that unless I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to lie to nobody, and I'm not going to extort people's fear, or I'm not going to mislead you to think that it's this way or it's that way. You got to make a choice of what you feel best is right for you. But the main thing is that I want you to be educated.
Right.
Educated, because everything that you see on TV is not right.
I agree.
Everything you see on YouTube is not right. We getting BS from both sides of that fence, Lyle.
That's right. We're 3 away from 60, folks. Come on before he kicks us off.
Yeah, we get up to 60 likes. I'm going to give this set of pink floats away.
Ooh, you guys better hurry up. We're already over 17 minutes, so he ain't going to hang on long.
Yeah, I hate to cut into country boys fishing, but we try to support each other. But, you know, I told him before when he called me that there's going to be times where we run over and, you know,
Frank,
I just had to restock all my pinks.
We just need one more. I'm showing 59. Frank, I agree with you 100%, but we ain't got time tonight. 60.
60. All right. Let me grab my phone. Oh.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all, everybody. Yeah, Country Boys Live. So if y'all want to jump back and forth right now, jump on it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Now I'm having trouble finding my own dadgum channel.
Hey, Bill Ponchett joined us. I hope he can line out Chad. They're buddies.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah. Appreciate you coming in here. Let me turn the volume down. We don't get an echo. All right, everybody. Here we go. We're going to roll it around. Everybody said, hey, if you want, we ain't got but 35 left in chat, but we did hit 60, so we're going to roll it around.
Up to 61. Thank you, Jay Fox.
Yep. Everybody, that means the world to me. They want to be outdoors.
Cool, man. He is on a roll.
Ain't he? Contact me, my friend, and we'll get you a set of the pink floats out there on the way to you, my friend.
I got to tell you something. How close are you to where the Josh and Art live for 1 Ton Fishing Club?
I don't know exactly where they live because every time I turn around, I think I know where they're from. They just happen to be fishing in a different spot.
Well,
I think they're old. I think they live close to the coast of North Carolina.
I know Matt told me today that he's headed out there to fish with them next week.
Who is?
Matt, the guy that won your bobbers?
Really?
Yes, sir.
He might be coming through this area. I don't know.
I don't either, but you guys can figure that out because he's a really nice guy, and if you shook his hand, you would be glad you did.
Well, and his name is Matt.
Matt, yep.
Matt, if you're traveling I-85 north headed through Charlotte, if you're coming from the south up, give me a call. I might can meet you somewhere.
He's got a Jeep Cherokee with fishing rods on the inside hanging from things where they don't bang around and beat around, right, and they're not in the way. I actually was so impressed with it, we took a bunch of pictures of it today.
So you can make you something like it?
No, they don't have enough room in my truck for that, but it's just a cool deal. It really is.
I mean, see, ideas like that I take pictures of too, because when I finish my building, I'm going to need a way to hang my rods.
There you go.
Because I got some 10-foot rods that I can't stand up in my 9.5-foot tall building. So,
hey, there's John Patrick Jr. Matt is also former military, retired from the military, or not retired. He's out of the military. I'm not sure how that works. I'm not going to exploit on that because I don't know.
Thank you very much for what you've done, and everybody that's in here, and you know, appreciate your service. It means the world. Well, I guess I need to break it off and let Country Boy do his thing over there. Don't forget to go check out Country Boy Fishing. I don't know who he's got on tonight.
I don't either, but don't forget SK will be on after that. And I promise you, if you like pan fishing, you'll enjoy Steve and Bluegill and Kim and SK.
I'll have to go in there and check it out when I'm up about 3 o'clock in the morning walking around. I'll check out a show. I won't catch it live. I'll be sawing logs by then.
Good for you.
Well, or attempting to anyway.
Yeah, I hear you.
So guys and gals, we do thank you. Don't forget, let me change something right quick. Camp Centurion, well, you can't see it real good, but Camp Centurion, Veterans Home, I still do collect for them. All monies from my channel still go to them.
Oh, thank you so much for
it's
that.
now time for everybody to start looking up what's up, John Boy? Looking up Reese Across America. Reese Across America. Y'all can go directly to their website and make a donation, buy a wreath. They're $15. And the wreaths will be placed on veterans' graves for Christmas. And if they look it up, they might be at a cemetery close to you at that time. And if they are, go out there and help them place the wreaths on the graves. You talking about an honor law?
Oh my gosh, I'm sure that's
each
right.
one of those and place a flag and a wreath on their graves to those that give all for us. It's a real big honor. So don't forget, there's causes out there, guys, that really need each and one of us, our touch.
That's a fact.
And take a child, take somebody with you to expose them to that. And you might have a lifetime donator to that cause. Somebody that will come in and make a big difference, not just a little difference. But
Right.
every little bit helps.
It does. Every little bit, and these guys they deserve anything that we can get for them.
Yep. They don't want to sacrifice it all. And there's a tournament coming up. I think that the Mayos is involved in is for the St. Jude's, ain't it?
Yes.
St. Jude's tournament coming up.
Yeah.
So look it up. What is the Mississippi Trail?
I'm not sure, but they have a deal for St. Jude's, and in my opinion, the only thing that is more important than St. Jude's is the military stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just right there. One.
Oh God, yeah.
You just choose which one you want. I've always been a St. Jude supporter, but our military has a place in my heart that when I see somebody doing something and it just breaks me in half, and I'm getting to be too old to be telling people not to do things and getting rowdy with them, but I'm ready to go whenever something happens that you need to go for.
Oh yeah, I'm very vocal. Yep. I don't come with a filter. I promise you that.
Yeah.
I don't come with a filter.
My filter has become a lot bigger in the last several years, but there was a time that there was zero filters.
See, I'm just the opposite. I was one of these people. I was just a happy-go-lucky. I didn't care. You could talk junk about me. It was like water off a duck's ass. It just didn't bother me. I figured that's on you. That's between you and the good Lord if you want to deal with it. But now, I done come old and grouchy. I ain't taking no BS off nobody.
Well, Cindy has been
too old for that mess.
Cindy has kept a handle on me in the last probably 10 or 15 years pretty good, because she don't want me doing things that I'm supposed to be a role model for this one and that one, and I don't feel like I'm a role model for anybody. But we have guys like little Robbie that comes in here and watches these shows, and I think so much of Robbie. I'd never do anything that would ever cause him any grief, or any of the other children, like Justin's little girl and any of those. So, I just want to I just want to do my part to be the person that I'm supposed to be. But sometimes it's really hard.
But
thank you, Matt, for your service.
And you know what, Lyle? They all cost a lot more than it used to back in the day.
That's right.
I got bail money, but dadgum, that's too expensive.
You know what? You used to whack a guy and they'd have you for assault, and it was $25, and he was in and out of the sheriff's department, and he was gone home and everything. So I don't think you can do that anymore.
No, I don't think so either. But anyway, guys and gals, Lyle, thank you for coming in here tonight.
Hey, man, thank you for inviting me. I had a great time, James.
And we'll do more of it. And, I'm thinking about doing some more, just bringing some people in. Is not just necessarily just talk fishing, but just to talk.
Yep.
Get to know each other. And because we pretty much, Lyle, and I'll say this and then we'll go. From what little time I've been on YouTube, probably going on for a little over 4 years now, shows 3.5 years, is we pretty much done covered about everything.
Pretty much.
I mean, really. Until something brand new, there's Mr. David Martin.
Hey, David.
Until something brand new that really changes the catfish world, what we said Monday night,
right,
is that then the information's out there, guys and gals. It's up to you to figure out how to use that information to the best of your benefit for the waters that you fish.
Right.
Another thing I want to cover, I seen somebody talking today, talking about fish that it's done got so, and it might have been something in chat a little while ago, so politicized that people only want to see the big fish, but not everybody has big fish waters to fish from.
That's right.
If your fish in your water, say if the biggest fish in your waters is 30 pounds and you catching 20-pound fish, guess what? You're catching monsters. Period. That's a monster fish for your waters. Be proud of it. Don't ever, you don't have to chase the Joneses or
right,
or anybody else. Do your thing. Do the best that you can do. Competition is good, but the best thing to do is be in competition with yourself to get better every day.
That's right.
Not just being a better fisherman, but being a better man.
I agree.
Or being a better woman. God bless y'all. God bless America. Lyle, thank you for coming in. And we're
anytime, my friend. I'm always here for you.
Take care. See y'all.